It has been a very long time since we went on a bike trip. So this time, our journey was on a motorcycle. We ventured deep into the Achankovil forest, passing through the 7 village landscapes of Tamil Nadu and arrived via Thenmala. Our stay for the night is at the forest cottage in Arippa. Here, we engaged in trekking through the lush green forests that remain vibrant even in summer. After returning to our room at night, we relaxed listening to the birds around the cottage. The next day, we set out for another trek. This episode encompasses forest trekking and a stay amidst the nature. Shall we begin our journey? By the time it got bright, we were already riding along the Pathanamthitta Konni road. The road condition is excellent. This is State Highway 59, also known as the Mallayora Highway. Especially since it was early morning, there was hardly any traffic. It was pure joy to ride the bike along this route. We could continue straight along this highway to reach Punalur. But just after passing through the Konni town, there is a junction where a road to the left leads towards Achankovil. This is a forest route. If we continue along this road, we will reach Tamil Nadu. From there, we can return to Kerala via Arippa and Thenmala. After traveling a short distance, there is a forest checkpost. There, we have to show the vehicle number and the ID details and make an entry to proceed into the forest. There aren't any strict time restrictions in here because even after the checkpost, there are still some houses and settlements along the way. However, it is generally not recommended to travel this route at night, as there is a possibility of encountering wild animal movements, especially elephant encounters. After traveling a little further along this route, there is a point where the left road leads to Cottage and the road straight ahead goes towards Achankovil. However, the road to the left is well paved, while the one going straight is completely off-road. Did you see the elephant dung lying along the way? Since this is a route where very few vehicles pass, sometimes elephants can be spotted right on the road. So honestly, traveling this route by bike itself is a bit risky. The Achankovil road and the surrounding forests we are traveling through fall under the custody of the Konni Reserve Forest. But it is actually connected to the Periyar Tiger Reserve as well. Although it may not seem very deep or dense at the first glance, it is an extension of the thick forest with wilderness and wildlife, so the chances of animal presence, especially elephants, are quite high in here. Honestly, initially I had wished to spot elephants or some animals along the way, but once we actually entered this area, that wish quickly faded because on this winding road, if an elephant suddenly appears while taking a turn, there would be nothing much we could do. Moreover, it is generally said that elephants in this area tend to be quite aggressive. After traveling a bit further like that, the road improved and became good again. If we continue straight along this route, we will soon reach Tamil Nadu. On both sides of the road, there are teak plantations. Look, there are 2 wild boars standing by the roadside. One of the famous attractions along this route is the Kumbhavarati Waterfall. The forest office is where you can buy the tickets for the visit. But after trekking a bit further, we found that the stop was closed. They didn't mention the exact reason, but they simply said it was closed for the time being. Even though I did this trip by a bike, if you're planning to take the same route, I'd recommend traveling by a car instead, as it would be safer. If there are two people, then a bike ride should be fine. After passing through the small town, you will encounter a winding road. At the end of the winding road, you will reach the Tamil Nadu checkpost. From there, it's a relatively simple slope stretch ahead. While riding along this route, if you look out for animals I came across, I saw a samba deer. But since it's a forest area, stopping the bike is not recommended. Even if you could stop and try to take a photo, the deer quickly ran away. However, we didn't see any elephants. Maybe we just weren't lucky enough. In Tamil Nadu, you can see the vast paddy fields stretching out in the distance. As we continue along this route, we'll pass through some beautiful mountains, and then we'll enter Tamil Nadu. After coming down the mountains, we continued along a path that takes us through the middle of the Tamil Nadu's vast paddy fields. As we went along this route, we saw people working in the fields harvesting crops, tending coconut bags and livestock. It was a refreshing sight. Even though the trip was in the first week of April, the area wasn't completely dry. A week before it had rained, so the fields were still green and lush. However, these fields look dry as they have just finished the harvest season, and after the next rainy season, new crops will be harvested. After dealing with the traffic and narrow roads of Kerala, Tamil Nadu offers bike riders a sense of relief. The main attraction in this area are the vast open spaces with no traffic, which are quite rare in the bustling cities. These peaceful locations, especially near the Kerala-Tamil Nadu border, are some highlights. In the distance, you can see a small dam, but it's not a major one to mention. The water flowing down from the mountains is diverted into the small dam, which is used for irrigation. During the summer season, the water levels in the dam are quite low. Now, if you're planning a bike trip, family trip, or even a photography trip, you can check the route map and itinerary on my website. I've added the details of different trips, including links to route maps for each and every one. If you prefer, you can also explore packages from other companies I recommend. And all the trip details are available on my website, pikolins.com. Now we are heading back to Kerala from Tamil Nadu. One of the main attractions on the road from Kerala to Thenmala is the railway overbridge with 13 arches. This bridge is a part of the railway track that has a single lane passing through a beautiful stretch of land in Tamil Nadu. It's one of the notable views along the route, but only a few trains run on the single lane track here. One of these trains is the Kollam-Chennai Egmore Express. The train had already passed by and we waved by. We didn't want to be late, so we decided to head straight to the forest cottage in Arippa, where the stay was booked. Along the way, you can also visit the Palurivi Waterfalls, but since it's summer season, the water levels are quite low. Similarly, you can also try boating at the Thenmala Dam or visit the ecotourism center if you have time. We had already traveled for about 3 hours without stopping, so we made our way straight to Arippa. On the right side, you will see the KFDC, Kerala Forest Development Corporation office. The KFDC offers various tourism packages for forest areas in Kerala, including places like Gavi, Nelliyampathy and Meeshapulimala. You can find more details about their stay packages on the KFDC website. So first, we went to the KFDC office to show our booking details, and then we headed straight to the stay. It was just about a 10-minute ride from here. And we traveled by bike through an area with no dense forest, which is quite different from what we had seen earlier. Our stay was at the Achankovil mansion, a forest cottage. The name of the nearby forest is Achankovil, which is how the cottage got its name. There are 5 AC cottages in here, and the place has created a lovely ambience with small trees and greenery. Despite that, the place maintains a rustic charm with natural elements, like small plants placed around the cottages. The 5 cottages are next to each other, and our cottage is called the Barbet. It's a decent double room with an attached bathroom, providing everything we needed for a comfortable stay. Right next to these cottages, there is an open space where we can enjoy meals, and it's perfect for outdoor dining. Since I arrived on a weekday, no one else had booked their stay, so it was quite peaceful. We decided to go for a small trek to pass the time without any delay, hoping to spot some birds along the way. Even though it was summer, the place didn't feel dry at all. The greenery and the water were still present, making it a refreshing environment. After walking a little further, we reached a grassy area where we could sit and enjoy the sounds of birds. This is the Malabar Travel, a beautiful bird that can be found in both India and Sri Lanka, mostly in the Western Ghats. The male has a vibrant red color, while the female has a more faded version of the same color. March and April are the breeding seasons, and these birds are usually found in the forest areas with trees and branches. A little further away, we spotted a sambar deer standing in the forest. All these wild deer are quite common in this area. There were no tigers or leopards around, but bears are often seen in here. However, in this April, despite being the summer season, the forest was still lush and green, and I felt truly blessed to witness it. While walking, we came across a green snake resting near the bamboo plant. It wasn't dangerous. These snakes probably catches the cockroaches and lizards to feed on them. Usually when you spot a snake like this, the area becomes empty, as people tend to avoid it. However, this time we didn't see any movement from the snake. We decided not to disturb it and continued walking toward the KFDC's inspection bungalow, which is a public property that can be booked. The bungalow has 3 rooms, and the ambience there is really nice. The cost for 2 people to stay there is 4,500 rupees, which includes meals and trekking. The Achankovil mansion where we stayed charges 3,000 rupees for 2 people, which also includes trekking and breakfast. Since there were no other guests at Achankovil mansion, we enjoyed the place and had some tea as we relaxed after our walk. After having some tea and walking a bit, we spotted a hornbill's nest. Inside, it were 2 young ones and a female hornbill as well. The male hornbill was supposed to come and feed its young ones. The hornbill are with the fruits or branches to feed the babies. There's a chance to spot the whole family of hornbills, including the mothers and the chicks outside the nest within a week. In the room's tarif we mentioned earlier, there's a 10% discount on weekdays. If you don't want to stay but would like to go for trekking, you can do that as well. The trekking fee is 590 rupees per person, with a minimum of 2 people required. I will include these details in the description.
ഈ സാധനമാണ് ആരോഗ്യപ്പച്ച. ഇതിൻ്റെ ഇല കണ്ടോ?
പഴയ ആൾക്കാർ കഴിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നതാണ്. രാവിലെ വെറും കിട്ടില്ല. നമ്മൾ പല്ല് കഴിക്കുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ വെറുമായിട്ട് ഒരു ഗ്ലാസ് ഒരു മുട്ടയും ഇതിൻ്റെ 2 ഇലയും കൂടി അരച്ച് മിക്സിങ് ചെയ്യും. കുടിച്ചതിന് ഉള്ളിലുള്ള ഏകദേശം അസുഖങ്ങൾ മാറിക്കും.
This is Arogya Pacha, and everything you see, from the plants to the environment, plays a role in health and wellness. The green herbs here are all natural, and despite not being able to touch or examine everything in the forest, our guide, who belongs to the tribal community, can identify them. As we continued our walk, we reached a place where we could observe birds as we pleased. While walking there, I spotted a rock agama lizard, a species that isn't very common. It's usually found in the forests around Trivandrum, Kollam and Pathanamthitta, and also in the eastern Ghats. These lizards have a distinctive black and red color, while the females have grey color. During mating seasons, the males tend to have a more pronounced reddish shade. This is a viewpoint you reach by walking a little beyond that rock. From here you can see the Shendurini and Agasthyamala forests, part of the same continuous woodland stretched out in a vast expanse below. This is the hard-spotted woodpecker, a bird you don't often get to see. To really observe it, you would have to dismount for bird watching, because most people entering the forest wouldn't spot it with the eye of an expert. As a true bark driller, it chisels into the wood, but its primary diet consists of worms and other invertebrates that live just beneath the bark. Forest harvested honey, which lives by inhabiting the forest, is the primary source of livelihood for the forest-dwelling community. You can also purchase this forest honey at a major ecotourism centers and eco shops managed by the forest departments. Although these honey gatherers are often considered unauthorized operators, it is said that without the honey collectors, humanity itself would not exist. Honeybees are the principal agents responsible for pollinating flowers, birds, trees, and so on in the nature. As the sun set, we returned to our room, took a quick wash, and went to enjoy a fresh meal. There are both meal inclusive and room only packages available in here. I chose the one with meals. After eating chapatis and chicken curry, we stepped out for a stroll around the cottage compound. Since it was night and we did not want to wander too far, the entire cottage is surrounded by electric fencing. And just beyond it, you can often spot nocturnal birds moving about. On a forest trip like this, a reliable torch is essential. We used one from the Shadow Hat brand. It is very handy for forest hikes with strong output and excellent build quality. I'll include the link in the description as well. The creature we got down to see was a civet, and because it was perched up high, we could spot it from quite a distance. This is a brown babuk. It is a small owl similar to the spotted owlet, with whitish patches on its legs. These birds only come down to hunt at night, and since April and May are their breeding seasons, shining a torch in the forested areas like this, one after dark, makes them relatively easy to spot. Their prey consists of small nocturnal creatures that scurry about. After scanning the area with our torch for a while, we returned back to our room. We were so exhausted from the day's walk that we fell asleep before it got too late. The next morning at dawn, we resumed our trek, which lasted about 3 hours. After a strong cup of tea, we set off again around 7 o'clock. That night, the electric fencing was switched off and the line left open so we could walk freely. This is the black-rumped flameback, a woodpecker. These birds are commonly found in ordinary forests and are often seen in pairs. However, if you look closely at the tree's bark, You can see where its beak has chipped away the wood, drilling deeper and deeper, so the surface is now covered with peck marks. The trees here are riddled with peck holes during March and April. The birds lay their eggs in their cavities and stay there. After walking a bit further, we came upon a raised platform densed with myristica trees. The forest department has put up a board here explaining all the details. Even in the height of a summer, this platform area still holds plenty of water. These are species of trees typically found growing along lake shores, and there are only a few places where you can see them by such pristine water. Because these trees occur only here, this site is ecologically significant. Even in the hottest season, the forest remains lush and green, and simply wandering through it is a real pleasure. Here, there are no open grassy patches or clearings. Instead, it is a very dense, almost impenetrable forest. So even spotting animals and birds here isn't that easy. If you step off the main path a little, you might just get lucky and see something. As we walked back along the path towards our stay, a gorse suddenly appeared right in front of us. Because we were moving silently without making any noise, we didn't notice it until we were fairly close. It was grazing on the grass, then walked off to the left into the forest. But when we stood completely still, it turned around and came back. There were 3 to 4 female cows with their calves and one male in that herd. We filmed them quietly for a while, and by around 10 o'clock we returned to our stay, had breakfast and checked out. It was truly a wonderful forest experience this time. Even in the summer season, we could really feel the lush greenery. So next, let's watch another forest video very soon. See you until then.